why do we not remember? I think in part at least because we are often looking for a spiritual Jesus that is sort of fashioned after our whims or the whims of our friends or whoever. And then when we come to Jesus, we're like, I don't know, I kind of want to go with you, along with you a little ways, but maybe not that far. I like this part of your teaching and maybe not that. We're kind of spiritually double-minded a lot of times. Jesus sometimes isn't quite who we want him to be. He says things, right? Like when he spoke to that woman there up in Tyre and Sidon that were a little bit like, oh, it's a little cringy. Don't really want to share that part with our friends. He calls his people, he calls people to himself that sometimes we kind of go, do we need to worship with those folk? Like, picture this, right? His disciples are made up in part of Matthew, who's is he a tax collector, which would have meant that he was in cahoots with the imperialists, the Romans. And then he calls Simon the Zealot, another guy that we don't really know much of anything about. I don't know why there's these silent disciples. But Simon the Zealot would have been the revolutionary trying to overthrow the imperialists. And he's like, hey, y'all, why don't you come and, sit in the pew? And even if they're like, hey, we'll sit over here and we'll sit over there. Sometimes you're looking around and you're like, I don't know about this. I don't know. Not sure about who Jesus calls to himself. He sits down, of course, and eats with the unclean that, of course, the Pharisees found offensive, but often, of course, we find sometimes offensive. We're like, do you have to have those folk? To love those people? So we go along for a little while, and then we want him to conform to our vision